Hey guys, once in a lifetime opportunity. We have TRD Timmy here. Yeah, everyone's laughing. No, but seriously, we love John, and we came out to Albion, Idaho, City of Rocks. Just hitting like a one-night camping trip, grabbing some content. We figured we'd do a vehicle walk around. Timmy has been building his rig for how many years?
6 now.
6 years. We've helped along the process, but honestly, I'm gonna turn it over to him. We're gonna do a rig walk around. I'm gonna ask a few questions as he's kind of going through his build. He has probably one of the most notorious first gens on Instagram. So let's hear from the master himself.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So up front here for a bumper, we have a CBI bumper, steel with the triple hoops, running like a no-name winch because I'm cheap like that. I actually spent all my money on Baja Designs lights, so I can't afford any nicer.
Lights before lockers.
Exactly. No, running 3 LP6s on the bumper here. Have some custom tech customs headlights. These are actually the TRD Timmy special edition headlights.
What makes them TRD special?
I designed them myself, and they custom built them for me.
Dang.
So, and then they put them up on the site as an actual option that people could buy.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. Running the Taco Vinyl Raptor grill. Probably one of the first modifications I did to the truck.
I think so.
5-something years ago.
Yeah. It looks like it's still holding up good.
It's been holding up really well, so that's awesome. But yeah, 55 fair lead and a factor 55 fair flat link.
Yep.
With the Taco Vinyl Topo sticker on there.
I just noticed that.
And then for skids, we're running the off-road high clearance skid plates. And so we had to do a new radiator, like an aluminum radiator, to gain all the clearance up. And then
oh, is that why there's not that like lower portion?
yeah, because usually it would come down like this. And so this one gains like an extra 20 degrees of
when did you do
departure angle. This was probably like 3 months ago.
Wow, why didn't I see that? That's cool.
And then it has
I didn't see it on his gram, bro.
Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
And then transfer case skid.
Dang, that's cool.
So
okay.
They're really awesome.
And then on your suspension, did you do the lower ball joint conversion thing?
Yeah, lower ball joints. We have the Total Chaos uniball conversions.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so it gains a lot of strength. I was replacing ball joints like once a year on this thing, just with the OEM ones. They're really notorious for like falling. The ball will fall out of the housing and leave you stranded. So it happened to me once on the trail, and ever since then I've been pretty paranoid about making sure they're changed. And these have been really good, super strong, and really not a ton of maintenance. So we can continue with like suspension stuff.
Yeah.
So front suspension, we have Solo Motorsports fully fabricated lower control arms with some locked off-road 2.5 coilovers.
Get down there, John. It looks like you're bending over, bro.
So we have, for the lower control arms, we have the Solo Motorsports fully fabricated lower control arm, locked off-road 2.5 coilover. We actually have a Perry Parts like 3D printed bump stop in there. They like 3D printed out of like resin in these big machines, so that's really cool. You're able to kind of control how stiff or how soft you want it. And then we have the SPC upper control arms. So for wheels and tires, we're rocking the brand new SSW Novas. They're a 17x9 like -25 offset, and then we're running a Nitto Recon grappler in a 295/70/17. So it's just about a 33-inch tire. I think it's perfect for this size of truck. Most people think they're 35s because the first gen is just a much smaller truck in general, so gives it a really good look. And then right here we have some ditch lights, some CBI off-road ditch light brackets with some Baja Design Squadron Pros. On the hood we kind of have the heritage stripe scheme from Taco Vinyl as well. It's cool that the little checker that they do. And then if we move up here, we have the Prinzu cab rack with the Baja Designs XL linkable. So if you can't tell, I really like lights, so I went all out on lights. Just have some max tracks here, and then the stripe kit from Taco Vinyl kind of goes up and through, gives it like that really heritage old school vibe, which I've been a big fan of on this truck. And then right here for rock sliders, we have the rock sliders from 4X Innovations. They're the square tube main tube slider with a kick out, and then we welded it on to have a tiny little, I don't know what you call that, an angle? Is that what it's called? Yeah. So we like welded them on so they'd have a small bit of angle, a little bit more clearance, but then you could still use it as a step for my kids.
Oh yeah, a tilt with the plate.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Tilt. It is tilt. Yeah.
The
Is
tilt?
it tilt?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we like
They do like a 15, 20 degree tilt on them.
Yeah, a small amount of tilt so you can kind of get more clearance under here, but we didn't want to tilt them too high that my kids couldn't use them as steps because we did the fill plates here with the dimple die cuts. So I'm not worried about my kids falling through. They can use them as a step to get in. For rooftop tent, we're running the Sterling Adventure Co. Wasatch Light. I chose that one because it weighs less than 100 pounds. I think it's like 97 pounds. It's about 4.5 inches thick total. And so it keeps weight off the roof, but allows me to park in the garage with it on year round. So that was really cool. This is the Sterling Adventure Co. 270 awning. So it'll wrap out and go all the way around and hook to the other side. And then all the arms have integrated lighting and stuff in it. So it makes it really nice to, I'm a really forgetful person, so I'll always forget lights and stuff. So having it built into the awning arms has been really sweet. And then they're all sitting on a Prinzu top rack and a snug top, like Super Sport camper. I don't know if that's the actual model. I think it looks similar to those, but they made the toppers for these like 20 years ago. It's gonna be really hard to find another one like that. So for rear suspension, we kind of did something special where we did an archive garage shock relocation. The shocks on this from factory were inboard and kind of facing opposite directions, and they did okay and they handled well. But doing this big tower in the wheel well here allowed us to run a 2.5 inch shock, and I believe it's a 12-inch long. And then we were able to get like a remote reservoir with the adjustability so we can make it soft, make it firm, depending on how much weight we have in the bed or depending on the trail that we're gonna do. So that's probably been one of my favorite suspension upgrades. Apex Off-Road was the one that did the install on that, and they knocked it out of the park. For leaf springs, we're running the All Pro Expedition springs. Those are the heavier duty springs so that you can run a bunch of weight with like the camper shell and tent and bumper. And they seem to handle it really, really well. So I've been really stoked with how the rear setup is on this truck and how it handles the road and off-road and still has the flexibility.
Okay, so you got negative 25 offset, and what shocks are you running?
The locked, I didn't say that.
I don't know if you did. Okay, locked with the adjusters, and even with the negative 25 offset, you still have to have an 1.25 inch spacer to clear the relocation.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Just because these trucks don't have a lot of room with the frame rails.
Yep.
So like the new 2nd and 3rd gen Tacomas, they're all outboard already. So you have a lot more room naturally. So yeah, negative 25 with a 1.25 inch wheel spacer. And this is like an 11.5 wide tire and it still kind of hits it. So you have to run a pretty wide rear setup in order to run the Archive Garage shock relocation. So some people will swap to a Tundra rear axle because it gains all the width without having to run a spacer or really wide wheels.
Oh, interesting. From what year?
Like a 1st gen Tundra, like a 2000 to 2006.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
You think you'll do that?
Probably not. So out back here we have a set of Baja Design S2s that we run as chase lights. And then we're running the CBI rear bumper with a full swing arm. Allows us to run a full-size spare tire, which is really nice in case you ever have a chance where you pop a tire or debead one that you can just throw on the full size. I love this bumper, and it was one of the ones I chose because of how high clearance it is and how tight it is, but I liked how small like the side profile of it was. I didn't like how some of them looked really, really big, and it hugs the truck really nicely. And then down here we have one of the new products from Baja Designs. It's their S1 hitch kit, and so it gives you like a plastic thing that plugs into your hitch, holds the S1, and then it comes with a wiring harness so that you can plug it into your trailer adapter. And so it will let you run it as like a chase light if you want. I just have it wired as a reverse light, so anytime I put the truck in reverse, It gives a really, really nice flood pattern, so I can see everything behind me. Okay, so here on the tailgate, we have a flat tailgate panel from Snail Armor. A lot of Tacomas and trucks in general just have a really bumpy rib tailgate, and doesn't let it use it as a table very friendly. So this just bolts into its place and gives you a really nice flat surface. So that's been a good upgrade. Here we have like a decked system. It's an older style of a deck system. I found it on Facebook Marketplace from a guy that had it in a 3rd gen Tacoma, and it actually fits really well in the truck without, I didn't really have to modify it at all. And so that's been really nice to be able to have the drawers to carry around tools, my compressor, my air hoses, and just general things that you might need and come up with on the trail. And then on top of the deck here, we have my Iceco, I think it's the, here on top of the deck, I keep my Iceco VL45 Pro. It's a 45 quart. I've really actually loved this fridge because of the dual action lid. So you can open it from this side or that side, depending on where you're at, or you can take it off completely so that you can load it and not have the lid in your way to obstruct anything. So that's been a really cool fridge to have, and it fits really nice on the deck, and it still fits underneath the camper shell. Okay, so we're gonna look on the inside real quick. I just recently switched over to the half door skins from Taco Vinyl. I thought they matched the vibe of the truck really, really well. They were able to print all my sponsor logos in it, which is a really cool touch to kind of bring the sponsor logos from the outside to the inside. One thing I love most about the half skin is that when the doors are closed, you really can't even tell that there's door skins on there. And so it looks really OEM until you open the door, and then you still get all the protection from like kicking it as you're swinging your legs in to shut the door. We recently did do a full stereo system with audio control in Stinger Solutions, and so we have their audio control tweeters here. We retrofitted some 6.5s in the front door, and then we have some 5x7s in the rear door with their 10-inch enclosed subwoofer there. So that was a really fun addition to make to the truck, because you don't have to just listen to tire drone on the highway now. Like, you can actually hear your music and be able to enjoy the road trip and stuff. So, and then behind here you can see I'm running the Corbeau Trail Cats. Those have been a really awesome upgrade to the truck because they give you a lot of support in your back with some bolstering, but they still have a really low thigh bolster, so you're not having to like jump into the truck and everything. And I was able to put like heated seats and lumbar support and everything in here, so a feature that you would never get in a 2002 you can add with these. And I actually just got notification today that my new like custom Corbeau seats were delivered, and so we're going to be changing these out, selling these, and we're going to be doing some like baseball leather with like some black inserts. So they're really sick, really like custom, limited quantity.
I'm so jealous to be John.
So, but yeah, I'm super excited to see those. Here on the steering wheel we have like a, I'm trying to remember what brand it is. I don't even remember.
I'm out on steering.
So we put on this custom stitch-on steering wheel that has the yellow, orange, and red to kind of match the theme of everything else. And so that's been a really nice like upgrade so that your wheel feels really plush and leathery. And then we have the Tech Customs glow gauges in there. So that gives the yellow, orange, and red like retro theme through the gauge as well. Right now we're running an aux beam switch panel that's mounted into the the ashtray through a 3D printed thing. So it's an eight panel switch. The control module's under the hood, so you can just wire all your accessories to it without having to run a switch into the cab for every time you want to add something new. So we have the LPs on there, the XLs, the Squadrons, and then I forgot to mention that I have 8 rock lights, 1 in each wheel well, 1 in the front middle, 1 under the bed, and 1 under each door. And they can be white or amber. And so I have both of those on a switch. We have the Tech Off-Road modular accessory mount right here that I have like my phone mount and like a radio mount on. So that's been really nice to have a spot to put all your stuff. We have a Baja Designs rock light as the dome light in there. We were able to do like a 3D printed housing that fit right into the factory one, so works like factory and everything, and it is like 10 times brighter than the old dome lights in this truck. We're running a Wolf Box dash cam. I think this one's the G9000. Has a front cam and a rear camera, and you're able to switch between front only, rear only, or split it so you can see front and rear. The camera's mounted up on the bottom of the Prinzu rack, because through like 3 layers or 4 layers of tinted glass, it's like almost impossible to see out the back window. So that allows me to kind of run like a full-time rear view mirror. So that's been really nice to be able to have, and it also records. So if you ever in an accident or anything like that, like you have all the recording and evidence that you would need if you were at fault or not at fault. So one project I'm really proud of on this truck is I custom fitted these Baja Designs rock lights into my side mirrors as puddle lights. So when I unlock the truck, basically when I unlock the truck, they come on with a timer for 30 seconds. And so that's been a really cool, I did a video on those, how I did it and everything. So that was like a month-long project that I was working on, and I'm really proud of how it turned out, and it's been a really cool touch. So some of the stuff you can't see, about 3 years ago now, Apex Off-Road re-geared the front and rear differentials from 410s to 488s. That made a big difference in drivability with the bigger wheels and tires and all the armor and heaviness that the truck has. And so it is a little higher of RPM, but when you up the tire size, it kind of balances it out and gives you the power when you need it. One other thing I would say to mention, I have like, to fit the bigger tires, a lot of the times your washer bottle for your windshield is in the fender well here with the big plastic cover. And so we took that out and relocated it with like a custom aluminum one that mounts behind the headlight under the hood.
Snowbound?
Snowbound Customs, yep.
Custom fit.
So it's a smaller, like, it doesn't fit as much liquid, but it's way tighter, and it clears all the room you need in the wheel well to be able to fit the bigger tires. So that's it. That's
Cool.
my first gen Tacoma, man.
Well, we all can't be like John, even though we want to be, because he's the coolest, bro.
No.
Yeah, we want to thank John for coming out and always hanging out with us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you inviting me to come out on this trip. I mean, obviously the truck is like pretty cool. A lot of people say it still looks stock. It really isn't that stock, but I have to really give like a huge thank you to Brandon, because he's done a lot of the work on the truck with the re-gear, the shock relocation. You helped me weld all the frame plates.
I guess we did do quite a bit at that point.
You helped me with like the lower control arms. One thing I didn't mention too is the cam tab gussets.
Oh yeah, yep, I forgot we did those.
When we did the lower control arms, you said, hey, let's
do these at the same time.
do these at the same time.
Right.
It'll lock in your alignment. And it's been awesome because you can go wheeling, you can go off-road, and your lower control arm cams will never move.
Not move.
And the amount of times I've had to go to the alignment shop has been like decreased significantly. So
Hear that?
he knows what he's talking about. And
Oh my gosh, this guy's killing me. But I would consider this first gen probably one of the best ever built, because it has a really good balance of being very comfortable off-roading and also has a perfect balance of being, you know, a daily driver, where you still have like the torque. He's not trying to blow out the wheel well, trying to go 37s. He knows exactly what works, exactly what fits, what parts are going to last long, to be able to have a vehicle that you enjoy.
yeah.
Audio to off-road, man. He's
Heck
got
yeah,
it.
let's do it.
So if you have any other questions, guys, about this build, leave them down in the comments. Also, if you do not follow TRD Timmy on Instagram, here's his tag. Go check him out. Send him all the DMs, bro. So,
I try to answer as many as I can. So
Cool.
if any questions, I'm always happy to help.
sweet. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, like I said, drop them down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next build walk around.
Peace.
Peace.